Hi everyone, welcome to Taylor Belly, my virtual diary. 30 videos I'm posting about life and about my transformations. I'm very excited but also nervous to share with you something that's very important to me that I've hidden for 30 years. It's time to bring it out. Let's see what happens. So in my last video, I talked about that when I was 14, when my grandfather passed away, that I was inspired and I wrote a book. Okay. I thought there would be plans for it, all sorts of stuff like that, but then, life gets in the way and it gets tucked away, and only a few months ago I pulled it out. And with everything that I'm talking about with you guys, it's actually in this book. Okay, so I want us every day, there's 14 chapters, they're little, to go on a journey with me. Okay, this book was written by a 14-year-old, me. See what it's like when I'm 14, see what it's like with me now, see where my gifts actually started from. And like I said, I actually haven't opened it for a long time. So I'm going to learn stuff too. Okay, so I'm going to pop my glasses on. So my book, it's called Quiddity, Essence of Life. So I created it and was inspired, but it was basically like to be a handbook about life. Okay, remember when I'm reading this to you, it's by a 14-year-old. I'm 43 now. Okay, so even then, Quiddity, Essence of Life by Belinda Anselmo, that was my maiden name. That's who I was. Okay, and I wrote, this book has been dedicated to my grandfather, whom I know in mysterious ways inspired me to write this book. I thank you with all my heart. Also, this book is for everyone who has touched my life, as they've opened my eyes to see life as a bundle of sand seeping through. I did pick up this book. There's some writing in it because I did want to try and attempt it again, but I never did. But I wrote a little passageway and I was 30. So let's see what I said when I was 30 years old. My name is Belinda. I wrote this a short time after my grandfather passed away. I am now 30 years old, married to a good man for 8 years, have 2 beautiful daughters, Holly 4 and Chloe 2. I love my life, and reading these thoughts and messages of how I lived when I was a teenager, it amazes me that I did have this knowledge at an early age. It's all deep within us. It just needs to be expressed and acknowledged. I hope whoever reads this will be inspired to relight their spirit in this world and burn brighter every day. So even at 30, there's still a seed planted there. So when I started the book, in writing this book, I hope to provide clearer insight to others on their journey, to help them see and understand that we all have a higher purpose. Each person is special and they have a unique story to tell. Through life, we choose to create what we see, feel, and do. It's a matter of choice to let go and explore all there is to know. At this time in my life, it is important to seek answers, striving for contentment and satisfaction in this most peculiar world. I'm just a child emerging from a cocoon to an adult who chooses to see freely and accepts all the paths and roads she may take or be led to take. I look at that and go, I'm 14 and I'm writing this. So then I had the page where you've got your chapters. So chapter 1 is starting the journey, like when we're born. Chapter 2, progressing to different levels. Chapter 3, people throughout our lives. Chapter 4, seeking unmeasurable questions. Chapter 5, competition within ourselves and others. Chapter 6, money to survive. Chapter 7, love and forgiveness. Chapter 8, purpose and meaning. Chapter 9, messages and lessons. Chapter 11, is there a God? Chapter 12, where do we go after death? Chapter 13, death, a new door opening. And chapter 14, the outcome. Wow. What are we going to unpack? So I'm just going to read it. It's only like 2.5 A4 pages. But basically, I think it's better that I read it because you will hear that it's what I received through me in my words. So starting the journey, chapter 1. We arrive in such a familiar place, but at the same time is foreign to us before we can settle down. We cling to life, so fragile and dependent on anything to survive. Every smell, touch, feeling and taste is so new. As we embark on a journey, we must start from the bottom and rise to the top, completing any task to do. When we are born, we face many challenges like food, love, and warmth. Even to stand and walk 2 steps is hard. We forget the simple things. Instead, they are taken for granted. Such joy an adult can receive if at times he or she could bring out the child from inside. How simple life would be if we could always be a child. The thought of unconditional love from our parents, the discovery of each step for the first time and being so naive and everything perfect. Nothing is what it seems. Before a child may stand tall and proud, he or she must have their moments of tripping, falling and stumbling. With each lesson that progresses, we will learn step by step, for next time we can do better and achieve more. If we don't have these hiccups, we will never know what we are capable of. It's plain to see if we become ignorant, we will learn the hard way. More and more intense it will be until whatever we need to gets through. That's what we've been talking about the last few days. At this time in the beginning of our lives, we are lucky as we are always guided and protected. Someone is holding our hand, gently letting go, preparing us to use all the things we have learned. Things have changed. We've progressed so much further than the thought of a child fighting over a lollipop would be ridiculous, but to them it is so important because they are only using the knowledge that they know. Until they are older, will they realize how immature they are? It's true, when we want something from our heart, we persist and do anything we can do to attain what we desire. It all comes down to the one thing that we needed when we were young, a sense of belonging and security. It's hard to think what we were like when we were little because we've done and tried so many things that now it has become insignificant to ourselves. Always remember to achieve what we want to be. At times people must let their hearts open to reflect, forgive, and accept all there is to guide ourselves to our goals. Even when we are younger, there are times we don't like to remember and we try to discard those feelings and memories. However, we cannot, as they are part of oneself. They are a missing piece of a mysterious puzzle we are trying to put together. What's the point in doing this puzzle if half the pieces are missing? It will be incomplete and worthless. Most people feel this way. We can't ignore the bad times because they are the pieces that are even more special to make us wiser and stronger. If we previewed all our happenings beforehand, we wouldn't go through these paths that we choose to now. It may be hard to comprehend that we go through life not knowing until later we shall reflect thoughts of, I should have done this or I should have done that. Like some people say, youth is wasted on the young. It is very true, yet think of this, it wouldn't be the same if we knew. Life is balance, Sometimes we may think it's weighed unfairly. We have to let ourselves become vulnerable and let the experience run freely through us. That's the only way to get through these experiences, which are tests. We can't do this by being too cautious or careless. Somewhere there is more to life than what society has chosen to foretell. As a child isn't pushed to say their first word but guided, so should we, in that at the right time, right place, we will be connected with heaven and earth. That is what we decided the meaning of life to be, is in our own hands. At stages, we question ideas that sometimes adults are vague in their beliefs with what they have, what they want and desire. Like money, it's all over the world. It's what supports and stabilizes our family and us. There is competition and delusion for some, scandals in which the thought of greed taking over the world is a child trying to relive. The child knows of nothing and enjoys a simple life as he or she sees through the eyes of what they have learnt through lessons, and is conditioned with what society has presented us to believe. That at times it will destroy the individuality and in all it can offer. When I was a bit younger, I would dress up, wear makeup and spend a lot of time with adults. Now I think I was young, I have so much time to be an adult. Why do I want to grow up too fast? The thought of not knowing enough makes us curious. We can't help it. It's in our nature. We need answers, but sometimes leaving things the way it is and having no answers is also a good thing. Time will tell when it's ready, when you're ready to be filled in with life's secrets. How critical one can be when we're at a young age. A couple of nasty words to someone can bruise their self-esteem. Each person is unique and different. We live life all at different paces. At times we mustn't pressure or cloud others. The worst thing a person can do is give advice. An opinion or a hint of guidance is better touched than influencing your values on them. As we have learned, we are at different stages and paths, and we may stand beside someone to be there for them, but let them achieve the work by themselves. There are moments in our lives that we shall question our happenings, in that we ask, why can't I be happy? If I achieve this goal, then I'll be happy. This is untrue, as happiness is always with us. We choose to wake up in the morning to feel grumpy. This is untrue, as happiness is always within us. We chose to wake up in the morning to feel grumpy. When someone hurts us, we choose to react and become angry with them. There will always be two sides to the coin. It's up to the individual to interpret the answers. Oh wow, these are all the things I've been talking about. Never blame others. It's you. If you choose to fail in an exam, it's your fault. It was your decision. We all have the same intelligence. It's just a matter of applying ourselves. If we desire for something, it's up to ourselves to write that goal down on a piece of paper and make that idea true. Until we achieve the goal and cross it off the list, we then can have satisfaction to achieve higher goals. When we are young, we have goals and we get through them all. As we grow older, it is up to us to see through our destined goals. When we are created, we have basically all the same equipment we all have the same equipment, except one will strive and the other will choose not to participate. Anything is ours, we just must gather the knowledge and use it. It is easy to just say we want as much that we want as it is easy to just say what we want, and much harder to put the words into action. For our mind has no sense of humour. Once it hears a message, it will repeat it like a tape recorder until it actually happens. Everything in life has its opposites, like love and forgiveness, night and day, health and sickness, hot and cold, to mention a few. We too have two sides to ourselves. One side is to be what we try to be, and the other deeper side that always seems to seep through, so light and dark. a person for everyone to see and a person for only yourself to see. It's weird when we begin to question all that is here. There is so much to learn. It can overwhelm us. No matter what in life, when we get stranded for an answer, there will always be one to choose from. We may choose yes, no, or even sit on the fence. It is possible that the correct answer for a particular situation may come when we least expect it. As an adult, there are also times when we cloud our better judgment, when we turn to all different directions for answers, when we seem we can't find a solution, we resort to our old ways. With all that we have learned along the way, we should be able to put it to the test to receive the best outcome. A child knows of nothing but reaps all the wealth around. As we grow older and wiser, we should be able to also sometimes be that little bit naive and let everything go freely like the sea, to accept the bumps, swishes, and violet thrushes. To become who we are now, we must have our fair share of challenges to become the person we are in the present moment. That is chapter 1 that I wrote when I was 14. I would love to hear what you think of that in the comments. I just can't believe that even 30 years later, that's where my knowledge I have now started from. I don't quite understand what's happening yet, but it is affirming everything that I've been talking about in these videos. Please come on this journey with me. Take what resonates with you. Have any comments? Yeah, let's do this. I really, to go back to my 14-year-old self, that's pretty cool. And I'm glad I get to share it with you guys. Take it easy. I'll read chapter 2 tomorrow and see what's going to happen then. All right, see you later. Bye.